We are live.
Welcome, everyone, to
Hello,
Japan Expert
hello.
Insights.
Yes.
Hi.
Yeah.
Ijichi-san is our guest today. And so, as usual, we're going to do a little bit of chit-chat for a couple minutes while everybody starts to log into the podcast, because that way you don't feel like you miss anything. And Ijichi-san is going to be wonderful to talk about today. He's been in the business for a long time. He's got a lot of knowledge. Once again, that's why, we call this Japan Expert Insights. I'm not the expert. We bring in
Not
the
either.
yeah, so we're really happy about that. I wanted to talk real quick though while people are logging in. As people might have noticed, my dog Casper passed away on Monday, and there's a Japanese film called Quill: The Life of a Guide Dog. It came out in 2004, and it's about a Labrador puppy who becomes a seeing eye dog. And a lot of Japanese films, especially around that time period, are very slice of life, and they're just delightful. There's a sort of like, some people can complain maybe about the production values, but sometimes I think that the lower production values make the films more accessible. And I watched this thing for the first time, I think about 6 months ago, and I was on the floor crying. It's just a beautiful movie. And so for all those all those dog lovers out there, check it out. I think it was on Amazon here in the States at one point. It might still be on, but Quill: The Life of a Guide Dog. It's a nice little movie. And I was going to say, Maya, have you seen any good Japanese movies recently?
Well, honestly, I haven't this year, not at all, because I have dedicated a lot of time on books. And yes, now I'm just reading books very slowly because I want to go back, maybe 10, 5 or 15, 20 pages, and then once again go forth and back. So this takes a lot of time for me. But I do intend, to start watching movies. And also, I was talking with a friend of mine recently about Tonari no Totoro. And I know, yes, I know it's
That's
really,
my favorite.
yeah, it's my favorite
It's such a
too.
good movie. It
Yes,
really is.
it's so beautiful because you can see everything in a crystallized form about, the beauty of Japan, the Japanese culture there, and the family relations and everything there. So, and I was talking with Tim actually about that, and we were like, maybe there is something there which we can actually, or we can create a podcast about it and how it relates to family values and to the folklore traditions here in Japan and everything. So I know it's not new and everybody loves it, but it's still one of the movies that people just cannot forget once they see it.
Yeah, Ijichi-san, you said it was your favorite. One of your favorites.
Yeah, one of the favorite movies. Of course, I love some of the Kurosawa movie and Ozu and Mizoguchi and other, kind of hidden master. And I can't talk everything, but you know, uh, I am proud because I am proud about the Japanese because it has so many variation of the style and filmmaking, and with good or talented filmmakers. But hard thing is how to spirit, how to release outside of Japan. So that's a challenge for Japanese movie industry, and it has been maybe long time to struggle to get some point. But recently we received some Oscar,
Yeah.
award. So
Yeah.
for some of the Japanese movie, even the Godzilla.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's a good thing to keep promoting Japanese movie contents, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. For those who are just joining us, welcome to Japan Expert Insights, It's Showtime edition. And today we are just so honored to have Tetsuki Ijichi-san with us, a longtime veteran of the entertainment industry. Thank you for joining us on the show, Ijichi-san. Thank you.
Nice to
you.
meet you, everyone. And first, I'd like to, before I add my story.
Mhm.
Before talking about my story, I'd like to say one thing.
Yeah.
My vision or business will be based on my experience as an independent filmmaker. So it will be one case study about learning what Japanese film industry will be. Uh, it might be different from the mainstream film industry because I didn't have so much experience at the major film studio in Japan, also big film distributor. So I
Right.
have been working as a as independent companies and filmmakers. So that's a little bit different. If you would like to learn more about mainstream of Japanese film industry, maybe I can arrange somebody for the guest.
Yeah,
So
that's
anyway, how we can start? Maybe
I was
uh,
going to ask you, if
yeah,
you don't mind, going back. Let's go back to the beginning. Like,
beginning.
why a filmmaker? What was it about film? Why did you choose this path?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, actually, when I was a high school kid, I didn't think about becoming a filmmaker. Uh, Actually, I wanted to be a painter.
Ah,
Painter.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
but kind of crafting and creating a visual. That's a painter, right? But
Yes.
2D, not 3D, right?
Yes, it's 2D most of
Yeah. So anyway, my art teacher told me you need to work more about dessin. Dessin, the
this.
kind of sketching,
Mhm.
it's
hmm.
yeah. So and then I gave up to do that. I mean, I gave up towards painter.
Hmm.
So,
Because, yeah.
Go ahead, man.
yeah, because I didn't have a sense of learning how to sketch.
I see. Mm.
I I I like painting, but I don't want to go back to basic.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, kind of strange, but
yeah,
I should learn the basic, but I don't want to learn basic again.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's
I wanted to jump in, painting stuff first, but the art school didn't want to invite such kind of young people. Everybody need have a skill of sketching.
Hmm.
That's,
Yeah,
that's the reason I avoid. I mean, I gave up.
Hmm.
I see.
So
So
obviously you went to film
yeah.
after you weren't sketching, which I get that because a lot of us artsy people, like I paint, I also do like I'll do photography, like
Mhm.
I write screenplays. Like it's kind of weird how it all kind of like I think in the end we're all just trying to put something in a square. That's
Yeah,
really what you're trying to
In a
do.
frame. In a
Yeah,
frame.
exactly. I like
yeah.
a framing.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know, so it's a kind of same, but
Yeah.
of course this is a 2D and other one is a 3D. So
Mm.
that's the difference. But
Right.
anyway, and also at that time I thought I was in Kyoto
Mm.
until the how do I say yobiko? Yobiko means after the graduation of high school. I studied 1 year
Mm.
for the college examination.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So at the time I thought, oh, okay, I need to go to Tokyo.
Yeah.
not staying in Kyoto because of there are so many movie house.
Yeah.
And then I would like to see more movie.
Right.
So, and then also not only watching a movie, I would like to study something, even just theory or history of the movie. And then I went to the Waseda University and then get such kind of class.
Yeah.
So not only the movies, I learned, the alternative stage or kabuki or any other traditional Japanese stage. So anyway, the study is not so much fun. So, and then I organized.
You want to get into it. I get it. Yeah.
Of course, I love watching a movie, 300 movies titles a year. But that's one thing. Another thing is to organize film circle, 8mm film circle, so we can make a 8mm movies. That's also another interesting things happening. So when we got the student prize at Fuji 8mm 8mm cine club or something. So we got the first student prize through the contest.
There you
And then
8mm.
And
Might
then
be dating yourself a little bit though.
And then I had a good networking through the prize or magazine who interviewed with people. And then I connected with other filmmaker, independent student filmmaker. At that time, Ishii Sogo, Nagasaki Shunichi, Yamamoto Masashi, and Tezuka Makoto, and Kurosawa Kiyoshi. Yeah, of course. So they are kind of same generation, and we are involving in the movement of Japanese, student cinema movement. So that's late 70s. And then,
that's wonderful. I mean, it's interesting, Ijichi-san, because one of my favorite books I have, it's a long read. It's actually was put out by MoMA. It was called From Post-War to Postmodern Art in Japan from 1949 to 1989 or 1945 to 1989. And when you talk about this, I've read a lot of the stories about the cultural movements in Japan from the 60s and the 70s. And that must have been a really fascinating time to be coming up. And almost like kind of exciting too, because that was when Japan was really finding its footing, culturally speaking, at around, especially in the late 70s, I would imagine.
Back when we had a passion or we have a goal to change Japanese film industry. It's big vision, but of course we couldn't. But anyway, so several filmmakers in the movement, and then now they become one of the master filmmakers.
Big names here in Japan. Yes.
Kiyoshi Kurosawa, Sogo Ishii, and any other. So after I was involved such things, I read one book. This is I can say Bible, and the author is Hasa was a Toho studio film producer.
Mhm.
Iwao Mori. I think I don't know if the book is still around in a bookstore. Maybe taking a look at some of the antique shop or
Yeah,
Right.
used
Yeah.
book.
probably on
Yeah,
eBay. I mean, everything is. And
yeah,
I know that
maybe.
a lot of books about Japanese cinema, especially at that time, there wasn't a lot. I know that people in the 21st century were trying to do these anthologies to explain Japanese cinema. And
Mhm.
what they found was there wasn't a lot of not a lot was written by
Mm,
Japanese cinema at the time. So
yeah.
you were one of the people who did. And so,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I would like to explain why the book will be my Bible. So Bible told me there are 10 things to do if you would like to be a filmmaker or a producer.
Mhm.
10 things to do. I can't remember exactly what is the 10 things.
well, you got to give us a couple.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
please.
briefly I remember. They said ticketing at the box office, counting the box office, and projecting a film, and publicize a film, and promoting a film on street or on media,
Yeah.
and then organizing, kind of screening, exhibition or something. So A to Z, everything in film industry.
Hmm.
So if I can or people can experience all of that, you can be, film producer someday. That's what the book said.
Yeah. That had
So
that had
anyway,
to give you that at that right moment in your life, that inspiration to, well, obviously you're still doing it.
yeah.
So it was just that
So
right place, right time.
Yeah.
yeah, and then I try to do every single stuff what the book suggested. So I did projecting 35 millimeter print
Oh,
at the kind of art house theater.
yeah.
But this is not art house exactly. Do you know the movie called Green Door?
Green Door.
Green Door from San
Gosh, it sounds
Francisco.
familiar.
It's not familiar.
Oh,
This is adult film.
and that's a Japanese film. I'm like, I'm trying to
No,
think of
no,
like, what was that?
American
American
film
film.
called
Oh, okay.
Green Door. Yeah. Anyway, you can
I'll look
check
it up. Yeah.
later. So anyway, I projected the movie more than 20 or 30 times.
Hmm.
So more than, I mean, 1 month every day I projected 35 millimeter print.
Okay.
So but
Wow.
anyway, I don't want to be a projectionist. So I gave up in a certain time.
Hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, I did, and also I did management for the talent.
All
That
right.
means managing the talent and promote the talent to the TV station or radio station.
Hmm.
That I did too. So and then plus alpha under the TV station, I was in a production design team, and I handled some kind of props to be include some of the scene. So one day I was in the frame, so that's a mistake, bad mistake. But so keep going. and then where is that?
No, I was going
And
to
then
say, I would
yeah,
ask you, can I ask you something? Because you
yeah.
talk about working with the projector. And I remember, because I came up right up around the time when analog was folding into digital. So in college, I had to learn to do things the old way, slicing the reels and stuff with your hand, and then
Yeah.
doing it on the computer by the time
Mhm.
I was done with college. Do you feel that I always felt that because I had that tactile understanding of how to make a film or how to do
Mhm.
audio, that
Mhm.
I'm so much better at editing and putting together footage because I had to pre-visualize. But
Mhm.
Oh,
just in
right.
general,
Yeah.
do you feel like we're missing something because we don't have those tactile experiences anymore? Or it does not matter? What do you feel, Ijichi-san? I know that's a big
That,
question.
yeah, big question. Because when I produced and directed a short movie uh, 3 years ago, and at that time I was involved rough editing
Hmm.
by myself through the digital, things. But
Mm-hmm.
uh, when back when we have a print, uh, six, 60 millimeter print or 30 millimeter print. Of course, I know that 8 millimeter print. I can uh, edit, cut,
Yeah.
Uh, I can't compare because its time is different.
Hmm.
Oh,
Mm.
uh,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like both.
Hmm.
okay.
Which one? Which is is better for me, or which one is not interesting?
Hmm.
I can't say exactly. Maybe I should experience more both, style, and
Hmm.
Right.
then I can come up with more specific idea.
Yeah.
Yes, to me it's fascinating because I know only the digital editing, right? So I have
Mm,
never, and it's not because of, that I didn't study it in college. I actually didn't study in college any editing or filmmaking or anything. But at the point when I started actually editing podcasts, let's see, so the digital editing was already available. So I never had that opportunity to edit tape and cut tape. And I always thought, before that it was really so difficult to edit tape
mm,
because for me I could not imagine how you could do that, how you could go through that, cut and pay and tape cut. What's that? Cut and tape, and then
Yeah.
once again, Michael, to what you said, to the point you made maybe 2 minutes earlier, it's like you have to visualize it first in
Hmm.
your head. And I believe that for many people, me included, it's very, very difficult to do that. So you need
mm,
that imagination first if you want to work with tape and edit tape, right? And I think it's much easier with digital because even if
mm,
something goes bad, you can go back to the
mm.
original recording and,
Yeah,
Yeah. The undo button is really nice.
yeah,
mm,
very nice,
mm.
yeah. But
Yeah,
you don't have that option with tape, which
mm,
is like, wow, I cannot imagine how your brains worked.
mm.
So you can
Yeah,
visualize it
that's
and
true.
mistakes.
Mm,
I'm not sure how my brain works either. If you can tell me, I'd really like to know. That would help. So Ichichi,
Well,
so we're at the point in life. So you're past school and you're
yeah,
working professionally. Yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
That's I would say chapter one of
Yeah.
my life with movies.
mm,
Chapter two is I started the involving the feature film production, independent feature film production. That's early 80s.
Yeah.
And then I uh, uh, I was credited as the producer for the 3 movies, early 80s, or
Hmm.
I would say 80s. And
Yeah.
one of the film was surprisingly uh, picked up. by Berlin Film Festival, and also after that, Cannes Film Festival.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
what was it?
I didn't go to Berlin Film Festival because the
Mm.
director was invited to
Mm.
the festival screening. And then Cannes is also, director is important. Director was invited by Cannes, but I wanted to go with him, so I went to Cannes, 1990, I think 1992.
Mm.
So, and that's the first time for me to go abroad, and but film festival. So that's a great experience to see. You know, world is larger than what I think, and Japan is small. Japan market is small, but outside of Japan is huge, especially Cannes. It's so great.
Yeah.
And then I've met lots of people, and also I learned something. If I would like to keep making a film, definitely I would like to think about how to reach outside of Japan. That's
Right.
what I got early 80s. So, and then one couple I've met at Cannes, they are actually New York City. So they came to maybe one year later in Tokyo, and then they said we would like to 2 years later we would like to have a new film distribution company, and then can you join us? He invited they invited me to be a manager. So I worked with them for 4 years
Yeah.
to release American independent movies in Japan.
Oh,
So
so
that's
you had
a
the opposite
good,
experience.
The opposite,
yeah,
yes, yeah.
yeah, that's a good experience too, because of
Yeah.
I learned lots of domestic Japanese distribution.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
that was
and
in the 90s, right?
uh, no, yeah, 84.
84.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Earlier.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wonder,
Nine,
of course, yes, Ijichi-san, please forgive me for interrupting you, but I wonder, so whether at that point of time there were any ideas within, oh, not any ideas, but was there a movement among Japanese film producers and studios to distribute Japanese productions overseas? Or was it still a novel idea?
Uh, yeah, I would like to talk, especially after I moved to the state.
Okay.
I have some, story. Yeah,
Okay.
that's I moved to the U.S. is 1994 or 5,
Hmm.
and then I knew, or I noticed the American audience, American movie fan doesn't know so much about the Japanese movie.
Yeah.
They still remember the name Kurosawa Ozu, Mizoguchi,
Yeah.
but it's a small group.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they don't know so much about other upcoming or contemporary film director. Itami Juzo is one of the contemporary, but they are kind of people are not often reading New York Times.
Yeah.
New York Times, the New York Times fan is a kind of hardcore.
Hmm.
Of course, the nationwide newspaper, but that's I think different from Japanese newspaper system.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, my point is I'm losing the concept. Sorry. Where I am right now. Let me see.
Okay.
No, that's all right. No.
So okay, all right. I remember. So I can't jump in the story about U.S. side. Right now, I am still talking about until before I moved to the U.S. Okay, so I handled lots of maybe several American independent movie in Japan. Releasing that movie in Tokyo, in Osaka, or Fukuoka, or Sapporo, something like that. But we don't have 300 theaters at the same time because the independent film distributor is doing one by one, even at a time. So, but I learned lots of stuff, how to contract with a exhibitor, the theater chain, how to, contract with them.
Right.
And then after I left the company, I united, or I would say I launched my own company with current my partner and wife. And at that time, we have a goal to bring the contemporary African American Black culture to Japan, because there was a little, still little kind of racial issue
Right.
in Japan. So we would like to bring such kind of art or entertainment to promote or educate people about African American culture. That's I did for the 3 years. So I brought African American musician, artist, and then produced Japan tour. Yeah. So music event and also Black Film Festival. So at that time, for the 3 years, I produced lots of event, not releasing lots of movie. That's what I did. And then after that, I decided to go to the state and to continue what I can do, what I would like to do. And then first I landed in California, 1994 or 5.
Yeah.
Then I started my company called Tidepoint Pictures. And then Tidepoint Pictures, first we did license Asian American documentary to sell to license to NHK. That's I did. So I learned lots of contract, licensing TV broadcast rights from U.S. production to Japanese public broadcasting.
Right.
So that's what I did. And then after that, I have one old friend asked me to assist and promote his movie. It's called Junk Food. Junk Food.
Interesting.
The director is really has a activist and also aggressive filmmaker. And he talked to Film Forum in New York City. And then Film Forum said, okay, you can have a premiere here. So after that, I booked 12 series, the movie, following the first release. And then that's the beginning of my self-distribution of Japanese film.
Yes. So, and you have worked with film. Sorry, Michael, to
Oh,
interrupt
go
you.
ahead. I got a
You have
question.
worked. Yes, me too. Okay, let's ask.
Right, you first. You first.
Okay, thank you. So, Ijichi-san, you said that yes, you worked mostly in the field of film, Japanese film, American film, and so on. But how about TV? So, have you done any TV productions and or maybe distributed films on, that could be also shown on TV? What is your experience with TV?
Yeah, TV is different from the cinema or
Yeah,
also
yeah.
film. And when I was kind of manager, talent manager intern, I often went to TV station or radio station. Of course, at that time, I learned some of the TV program, but I felt TV station is a part of the entertainment, not art form exactly. So
Right.
the independent film is still part of the art form. That's what I think. Yeah, and
I think it's because when you do television, you have to do so many that it becomes more of a what do you call it, like a assembly line. And when you're doing like an independent film, the camera tells the story because you have the time to say, okay, which I think is a lost art. I think now it's set design that tells the story, but not necessarily camera angles and lighting. You do see it a little bit, but it feels like it's a lost art, and it's kind of a shame. But in the smaller films, you'll still see it, where the lost art of a camera telling the story. So I understand like where you're coming from, because I think with the Netflix queues and the shows keep moving, that because you have to churn out so much entertainment that you don't have the time or the patience to lovingly craft that visual, that setting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's close to my early idea about painting. Yeah, it's a TV program or TV production is not like that. It's more like I think making a gadget, making a toy. Yeah, and,
like silk screening.
Yeah,
Stamp it out. No.
So another question, right?
Oh, my other question was, because you had worked in film distribution throughout the 80s and 90s, and obviously I was going to ask you like what you found the obstacles were then, which I know one of them is going to be that we were still dealing with physical media. Like you had to bring the film can over to the thing. It's not like that now. Besides that, like what were the difficulties that you, like the big ones that you felt like you had to overcome? And is it the same now or is it completely different?
Completely different. And we don't need to deal or work with FedEx or UPS. And then sometimes, that they lost the film can, the container of the 35mm print.
They did.
Yes, they did.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Where is my film? The film should be at that theater today, but not yet.
Yeah.
How to release the movie?
Yeah.
So that the digital way is so much improved such things. Yeah.
I can't. It's,
I know, right?
unthinkable. Yeah.
I mean, I told kids I had to go to the video store to pick up movies, and we had a wonderful video store. That's how I got into Japanese film, because they had an anime section. And this was like in the late 80s, early 90s. It was a very little Mokina video out there in the south suburbs of Chicago. Had French New Wave, had Italian cinema, and had Japanese films. And so that's how I got introduced at that young age. But when you tell young kids, yeah, I had to drive to a store, I'd pick something, then drive it back home.
Oh, nice.
It's they look at you like you're a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
So
the stories are better. That's the thing, right? I just watched it on Netflix. Not as much fun, but you know, yeah.
The watching a movie is fun because of story, because of seeing the actors, seeing the locations, all kinds of elements in the movie, so we can enjoy the movies compared to TV program. Yeah. Of course, I love some of the TV series, even from the high school or junior high school. But at that time, I didn't notice how much wonderful things cinema provide to the frame. So, anyway, I back to the story.
Get back to your timeline. Yeah.
Yes, my story in the state, and then I got the joint venture project with Japanese anime distributor back when 1999.
Okay.
I think 1990. No, this area is fuzzy between around 1999. Yeah.
It was a millennium. We're all a little fuzzy around then,
Everybody was waiting for the world. To end. Yeah.
So we acquired. We means my company, and the anime company, Japanese anime company, located in San Francisco. So we together acquired 13 Japanese movies, including my favorite, Welcome Back, Mr. McDonald. That's a Radio no Jikan, the comedy. It's a really great comedy. So we released 13 films through the limited theater and the video, DVD. Yeah, that's until 2000, I think 6 or 7. Yeah. And after, and after that, sorry. After that, I closed the joint venture, and then I worked with Kino and also Facet until 2012 to release the Asian film or Japanese film through the just only DVD. And then 2000. Oh, please.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
And
no, go ahead.
After the 2012 or 13, I lost lots of business from DVD market. So I changed our concept, the business concept. So I started Lane 12 Pictures to focus on digital distribution era. So that's coming to right now. Yeah.
I was going to ask you, because you've been in this business a long time, how do you feel Japanese cinema, or just cinema in general, has changed since you started? And what's the future look like in your mind? Like, what's the future of Japanese cinema?
Right now, I feel so much going on in the good way,
Mm-hmm.
because a filmmaker has a lots of interesting background. It's not only from I was born in Japan and I graduated from the Japanese university. No,
Right.
it has a more range. Somebody, growing up in the States, but they came back to Japan and then got into the film. And they
Oh,
have
yeah.
a different vision to
Yeah.
make the
And
story.
background. Yeah.
And also, of course, there are so many Japanese who graduated from the U.S. Film school or London, UK film school. So those are making something different too.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
see.
And then big thing is many women are
Yeah. In
working
yes.
and raising up in the industry. That's a
Yes.
marvelous.
It's
And
fabulous. It is. Yes.
yeah, and
Mm.
they are so international mind too. So I think it's a really how do I say barairo? It's a kind of uh, colorful color coming up.
Yes. It's more
It's
diverse if we
yeah,
use the term
diverse.
that
It's like
everybody
yeah,
more
cherry
spicy,
blossom.
maybe spicier.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
spicy.
it's funny because we had like Douglas Montgomery on, and he always talked about kind of like the Galapagos kind of like vibe with Japan, because it's sort of like and I think it was referring to is that it's sort of self-contained, but when
Mm-hmm.
you have people
Yeah.
sent abroad and coming back and forth, and it's opening up the culture a little bit more. Yeah, it makes things very interesting. And I know we briefly talked about like the Black Box Diaries film that's up for an
Mm.
Oscar, and
Yeah.
before we went live, and I think
Mm.
that's just part of this, where
Mm.
you can really see the dynamic changing in Japanese
Yeah.
cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think also. Yeah. Oh no.
Please.
Sorry. I think one point of view or one angle to look at it is that because of this Galapagos syndrome, it's really good to observe Japanese films and also, let's say, movies and TV programs as well, as historical development of ideas, social ideas, and also, of course, once again, cultural ideas, But it's fascinating because in other countries, in the United States, in Europe, the cinema has been much more open to diversity
Mm.
before. And now in
Yeah.
Japan, we are
Mm.
only now seeing this. And I think that how can I put it? It's really like the development of Japanese film and cinema is like a line, historical line of how basically other others national cinemas and movie making developed. But we can see it now through the lens of Japan. And once again, because things are happening so very fast in the United States, let's see, in Europe as well. Now, Japan's slow motion is a good case study, I believe, in
Mm.
history of the modern development of movie and the development of cinema. And I don't know, I may be mistaken really about this, but I
Mm.
will hear, your point of view on this as well.
From my point of view, the many independent filmmaker stood up and then
Mm-hmm.
uh, change their atmosphere, change their system, and this is not from the core of the mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
Mainstream is still keeping the same system and making the movie for everyone. But independent filmmaker are making a film not for everyone, but it will be hooked by someone who love the movies. So
Mm-hmm.
of course it's a tough. It's a business tough, And even though, okay, the movie got a special mention from the famous European Film Festival, but when they went back to Japan, they have to deal with how to make a profit from the Japanese audience. So
Yeah.
they're still tough, but it has some other opportunity when they raise a production fund, not only from Japan, from other country in Asia. It's possible. So, and several financial sources got together to make a one Japanese movie. That's possible. And then it's right now it is happening.
And those sources, they don't have necessarily, they don't have to be Japanese only, right? If
No.
I understand you right, yes.
Mm.
So they can come from different continents, different parts of the world.
Yeah. That's one of the great sample is Wim Wenders, German filmmaker.
Oh
Wim
yeah,
Wenders made a Japanese language film,
perfect
right?
taste. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And upcoming movie, this is also Japanese language film, but by I think Spanish director or somebody. I forgot, but that's also a good sample. It's coming up more, I think.
You know, it's funny because one of my favorite films came out in 2012. Was called Like Someone in Love, and it was a Japanese film, but it was directed by the Iranian director. I'm gonna mispronounce
Iranian
his
director.
name.
Yes.
Yeah, Abbas Kiarostami. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I'm going to butcher his name. He was an amazing director, but he decided to do a film in Japan,
Yeah.
and it was a lovely film, very time and place. And I remember there was a lecture I heard a few years later that talked about, well, is it really a Japanese film if an Iranian director directs it, or is it a
Yeah.
Japanese film if Sofia Coppola, like, and
Okay.
what was happening was in the tens, it seemed like the definition of a Japanese film was much wider than it was in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you would agree with that, Ijichi-san.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed the
Oh no,
last.
that the idea that that I think in the past a Japanese film was directed by Japanese, produced by Japanese, but in this day and age, to have an Iranian director or somebody who studied from London or funding coming from three different continents, like the scope of what a Japanese film has gotten much larger.
I think it's a totally it's happening. Such scale of Japanese movies. One of the reasons is people love Japan, Japanese art, Japanese culture.
Yes.
So when they travel to Japan, they can see how beautiful place.
Yeah.
And then there is a good story. So even they came back to their country, and if they would like to come up with some story, one of the options is what they saw from the trip in Japan.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. But in the past 10 years, especially I would say 10 years, film commission people are changing a lot. From my POV of independent filmmaker said, it's hard to shoot in Tokyo. I can't get a permission. I can't work with the police. It's like New York or somewhere American location. American location is much easier because the government or can assist and help, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But in Japan, the people are thinking making a movie is kind of part of the yakuza involvement, so they don't want to touch.
Yeah, but yes,
So
I can
but
see
it's
that.
right now changing. The government is also assist some of the financing right now, and also film commissioner they are awake about tourism. If
Mhm.
we have assist American film production shoot in Osaka, okay, we can have more tourists in
In Osaka.
Osaka.
Yeah, start
Yes,
rotating people around the island. We talked
yes,
about this the
yeah,
last
Yeah,
our last two
yeah.
guests,
yes,
actually.
yes,
Finally, the
Yeah.
government or the city hall tourism section is aware about that. So that's a good
yeah,
thing.
it
So right
is.
now, all of the kind of upbeat or positive mind elements is kind of coordinate each other between the section. So
Right. Yes. Michael, if you don't mind me sharing a little bit from, my observations
Sure.
here, to your point that, if a Japanese story is directed by a foreign director, is the film Japanese or is it not, right? So I can tell you one thing. So about 15 years ago, or maybe 10 years ago, when Kazuo Ishiguro, the Japanese born and British raised
right.
novelist, won, I think he won a Nobel Prize. And so there was actually a debate here, a social debate in Japan, whether he was Japanese and whether the Japanese people would, should actually rejoice because he won the prize. And there was actually a split in the opinion because, some people were like, no, he's already a British citizen, so he's not Japanese. But, the other part of the debate, or the other side of the debate, people were saying, yes, but, he is actually he inherited the Japanese culture and the way of thinking, and it is actually seen through the stories he tells in his novels, right? And I think that the debate today is maybe more or less the same about movies. So if it is a Japanese story but it was directed by an Iranian director, what is the movie? Is it Japanese? Is it not? Right? And I think that there will always hear different opinions based on who is saying what.
Right.
But as
But it's
Ijichi-san,
definitely better. Yeah, I would
yeah,
say. Yeah. Like I think it's not as tunneled
uh,
with the tunnel vision like it used to be. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that more and more people are actually more accepting of those realities, and fewer people are saying, no, it's not a Japanese movie, right? Fewer people are
Yeah.
saying that it isn't. So I think that the acceptance here is
Mhm.
actually becoming much, much larger.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ijichi.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Ijichi-san.
Oh,
If you have
please. Yeah, Michael, please.
no, what I was going to ask you was because we're coming short on time. What are you anything exciting you're working on? You'd like to tell us this year? Now that we've fully caught up to the present and we
Yeah.
got this
Oh,
wide Japanese audience.
right now I am working with one classic movie for the restore and digitalize and then uh, release maybe uh, this year. And
Hmm.
it's called Kick to Isamu. Kick and Isamu.
Hmm.
The They are African American Japanese kids
Hmm.
after the World War II, and
Mm,
they completely left by uh, African American husband, actually a soldier, and Japanese mother. So they are living with grandma in a local village. So that's their story.
Mm.
And it's an interesting story.
Yeah.
So I would like to distribute internationally that film after we restored the version.
And when is it going to be available to people
We will start restoring in Singapore.
in
That's
Singapore? Mm.
Singapore. I found a Singapore company can do that. And that's April. So I am expecting to have our new, version in August.
Okay. Yeah.
Wonderful. That sounds
Wonderful. Yes.
So that's another one. And then other one is I have to try. I have been thinking about making my feature film based on my short film, Landromat on the Corner.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's
one.
Good. That's good. That's really, if
yeah.
anyone, could people see the short film? Can you have access to it now?
Yeah, but
Is it available for people and where?
available from me, maybe if you
Okay.
can ask.
Oh,
Yeah, but also I am signing up with an Italian-based company. Their short film, streaming media company. So they have a release this year.
okay. Yeah, that's
It's so true. I've seen this short film. It's really good.
So, but Michael, I don't want to forget that I have to work on also I Am Ghost. So
Yeah.
that's another project, but it's hard,
Yeah.
I don't have so much enough time to do everything. So, but another 10 years, I would like to make something.
All right. Well, I'll have to do another poster for you, but I'll just do one now.
yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
I drew the poster for it a while ago. That's how we met. Yeah. Ijichi-san, we're coming close to time, so I just wanted to thank you. Arigato gozaimasu.
Yes. Thank you very
Hang on.
much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So this has been Japan Expert Insights. It's Showtime edition. Next week we have Susan Miyagi McCormick, the founder and editor-in-chief of Japan Culture NYC, and we're so honored and privileged to just have amazing guests like Ijichi-san, and it's been wonderful. So thank you all for tuning in.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks. Thank you, Ijichi-san.
See you.
See you.